So I'm satisfied with those two tables. Oh, it's a 1020 and a 1020 table, so it's not the table I wanted to play. Here is 5100 and I play here, and for some time I play 3 tables, but to concentrate on what I have to say, I have an 8, a 10, a jack as a blocker, so I think it's a good hand to start bluffing with. We still can bluff. People usually go over the top themselves and fold too much. And the 8 blocker was nice. The 10s blockers are future blockers when an 8 comes, for instance. Third table. So yeah, very bad hand. I think this is a hand I want to open in the small blind if I get the possibility to do so, but here it's too disconnected to play, and the small cards are not necessarily cards you want to have in your hand, so this is an easy fold. About my color coding system, green is general fishy. You see he plays 60% of hands, so guys like that are always green. But he's also very aggressive pre-flop by 3-betting, and he's pretty passive. These are 3 stats for me, how much he bets on flop, turn and river, and he's very passive on future streets. So this hand I could open and I could fold it. I think it's between. This is also a hand that's probably in between, but because he's the button, I do not want to play it. And the slow connection is usually not that good. 3, 4, 5 ace is not that good. So semi-good aces, treble suited. So there is no reason at all to c-bet here. People check way too much to the pre-flop aggressor, and they often have a 10 here. 10 is, now I have queen jack, but it's also very likely that someone has something better. So I'm not convinced that it's a good call if I call here. There's a third guy, and I know it was nitty. So what does he do? It's a hand I could, it's not double suited. When it's double suited, I could go over the top and go all in, but so we have the first hand, and let's hope we flop well. Oh, it's an okay flop. It's not that good. Probably We get another card coming. 1 versus 1, it's a good all-in. Okay, against 2 guys. Is it an all-in? He went all in pretty quickly. Let's think about it. He has mainly aces, probably ace, ace-5 or so. He has probably 2 pair. Let's go all in here. Had kings with 3, 6, 7. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is bad luck that he has just more or less the nuts here. And it's a hand I want to think about later, because it's probably not that clear if I should call here or not. It's so let's fold here. And let's think about this hand again. I have 1 backdoor flush draw, and it's not that likely that someone has queens here when I block 1. It's not that likely that someone has a 4 or a deuce. I've got 2 pair outs, I have some backdoor straights outs, I have a backdoor nut flush out. So if he had, let's say, a typical hand like Queen 4, and I'm against those 2 players, I have enough equity to get it in. King, Queen, 10, 9, 5. Okay, it's also a hand that is pretty much on the cusp, whether to open raise or not. I should have folded, because it's a very active table. And it's not a particularly good multi-way hand, so if he goes over the top, I have to fold. So it was not a particularly good open raise. Ten-9 and backdoor things, and I do not block any of the sets, so I want to bet big here. Again, I want to bet big. Do I want to, no, he's not aggressive at all, so I want to go. If he has jacks or if he has a nut flush draw, it's hard to continue here. And I'm waiting. I'm always waiting. I'm waiting if I'm bluffing, and I'm waiting when I'm value betting, and probably he has a 10 and can hero call me. He folds the river often, so there is not a huge possibility that he does so, but let's see. Unfortunately, he does not hero call. But the pot size bet on the turn is, I would say, absolutely mandatory. because he has so often a set, a nut flush draw, where I can give him a very bad price. Betting only half pot would be a mistake by me. And betting and checking would also be a mistake because he's too passive on turn and river. So I have to be when did he write me that? Probably I'm not very concentrated on the chat. And by the way, I should have a 5-minute delay. So when you write me something because of a hand, it's 5 minutes late that I respond to it by saying something. But if you write it, I can immediately respond to you. So this is a typical hand that is overplayed, but in a single race spot, and it's reasonably good multi-way. I want to play it, but it's overplayed, so probably I should just fold it. The pair of fives is not particularly good. And someone has to have an ace here. So he's saying he has an ace. Good for him. Probably he has jacks. And very unlikely he has a bluff. This is again a hand like before. It's not very good. On the small blind, I would on the button I would open this hand. But otherwise it's just a fold. Here he is not very aggressive, so I'm betting. I could certainly bet pot, but I'm not giving away too much of my hand. And this is usually just a bet fold or a bet call if he bets small. If you bet small, it's a bet call, but it's not. Gives me a good price to continue here. Should I bluff here? He has 21 left. Nah, I don't think he folds that much. Yeah, yes. What I thought he has. And by betting larger on the flop, I can't do that with nice bluffing hands. So I want to have also bluffs on the turn when, for instance, the straight or the flush comes in. And this guy made an obvious huge mistake by just betting the hand. I could probably bluff the river, but with only 1/3 pot size bet left, he's probably calling every straight. I don't know. Not a good hand. Small cards are almost never good. You have to have a perfect connected hand to play those small cards. That's the only thing. When I'm only playing 2 tables, I sometimes do not have anything to do. But as I said, I do not want to get overloaded when I explain the hands, how I play them. This is a very nice multi-way hand, obviously. So a mistake a lot of people make is to 3-bet kings in position. It's a hand you almost never want to 3-bet. It's too less connected to play. So it's an easy fold. Easy cheesy fold. There's also a type of hand people overplay because they are double suited and Broadway cards, but usually yeah, the second best hand often. You get top 2 pair or bottom set or a second nut flush draw. This is a hand, if it's double suited, it's a 3-bet. It's one of those very connected middling hands that are very nice to 3-bet. Okay. This guy leads. I would not recommend leading that much on this board because he's the one with the aces. Okay. So when he goes over the top a little bit, it's not a good hand, so raise on flop, small raise on flop could be bad. So this is an obvious open. It would also be a 3-bet. And this is what I want to write about him, because probably when he had aces, he would probably raise more than that. It's less than half pot, and it's very, very stupid of him to. Okay, king, queen, jack, 10, 8. So this is a typical call. Now I have top 2, but should I bet here? And if yes, how large? I just wanted to bluff him out. The bot probably had the best hand. If I had an additional flush draw with it, I would not do that. Just because I don't know what to do when I get raised. And again, I think betting pot is the way to go here. I don't think it's better to bet less. Obviously a good hand to open raise. I could continue betting, but with 5 guys, I'm not inclined to. I block the main, probably not the main betting card, but block the jack. Main betting card would be the ace of spades. I think it's with this hand I can call, I can fold small blind. But it's not a good hand to play out of position with. Did I have the... No, I did not have the straight flush here. So, again, a connected hand, but not a good multi-way hand. Therefore I have folded. Out of position. I get top 2. I get the second nut flush draw. Not what I want to play. On the button. Oh, it's semi-connected. There's a pair, so I could easily play that hand. With a bad flush draw that I do not want to go broke with. I want to check, and that's so. This is a pretty okayish multi-way hand, but in the small blind, so I do not want to bet this hand. So I just have jack high flush draw, and he's not betting a lot. Do I want to continue here? I don't think so. I do not have that many nutty outs. Probably also not a lot of implied odds. Some reverse implied odds. On the button, it's a reasonable multi-way hand. This is also nice. With queens it would be a really good hand. With sevens it's not that good, but a7 is still okay, okayish. Okay, I block sevens. It's not nice when somebody goes over the top. I don't care if one of them goes over the top, but if he's going over the top, it's so What does he have when he bets here? When he calls here, he has hand worse than mine, but I have showdown value, so this is a perfect hand to raise with pre-flop. Okay. And now I can fold it. No, I do not have 30% here. Okay. And now I'm going all in myself, because Ace 10 9 6 7, and I'm going all in. And this was there were two interesting hands, but the one was playing itself, and this one but the one hand was interesting to see, and I thought probably he has nines, probably he calls with the straight. I was a little bit lucky here, but by the two ways to make the nuts here, you can see the hand here, and probably by when I get the 8, I'll probably also split with him. I have direct odds for this hand. Three kings are obviously not good. Would I have played this hand on this board against him, would just have called. Because it's so hard to continue on any flush or straightening turn. Again, many people overplay those hands. Low pairs are not good at this game. Yeah. This hand is better, and I'm on the button, so it's easily playable. It's okay to call this hand here. One thing I have to talk about here is this guy has an advantage over us two, because he can realize his equity way better. He's saying he has aces. He is it's not good enough three-way to continue that. This is also a hand that is overplayed. If you have low cards, you need perfect connection, and a 10 really hurts your hand. This hand though is pretty good, well connection, semi-high pair, and it's a perfectly fine call. It would not be a fine, people make probably the mistake to 3-bet such hands. Do I want to bet here is the question. 4 guys, and I do not want to get it in. Probably so my answer is no. Do I want to bet here? Yes. Do I want to call this? Yes. Even if there are 2 calls, it's still perfectly fine call. And I can probably also bluff diamonds. Okay, so if somebody bets a lot, I don't think it's a value bet. With the king I would value bet, but I don't think this is a value bet here. The problem here is if somebody of those 2 guys is checking, they often check something like queen 10. Queens, they often check something like a way better draw than I have, like nut flush draw plus a queen. And when they go over the top, I'm in a very bad situation with my hand. Back to play. That's not what I wanted to do. So probably I see somewhere how many people are currently here, and there is no one here. Come on, guys. I could only call this hand, but let's go over the top. He's not the most aggressive of all. Hate those. Hate this. Probably he goes all in. He does not have 4-5. It's very unlikely he calls anything. Probably has 2 pair. When he has 2 pair, he will call something like that. And here I'm going all in, and he has aces. Ooh. Bad luck. Didn't think about the deuces, but it is what it is. This is a perfectly fine hand to call with. And at the last hand, I still had enough equity, even if I know he has deuces, to get it in. It's a nice multi-way hand, mainly because I know either I flop really well or flop badly. It's a perfectly fine hand to call. Even double suited, you have to think about 3-betting, but usually in position you do not want to 3-bet non-ace hands. Okay, and it's still a good multi-way hand, so if they do call, I'm perfectly fine with it. I have a lot of possibilities to get a hand that I want to get it in with. Okay. So king jack 10 9 7, but only single suited, and in the small blind I fold this hand. So someone joined me. Very nice. Do I see who joins me? Probably someone is writing me. I don't know. It's the first time I'm streaming, so probably. No one is writing me. 5-8. So it's usually not a good flop for the open racer. So there's not a lot of betting going on here. And I do not have any backup. I would have 5-8, but it's not nice. He's probably betting too much as a c-bet, or when I show weakness. So probably next time I'm going for the bluff raise here. But I want to have some extra equity, like the nut flush draw, the backdoor nut flush draw. So this is perfectly fine. So here I have a wrap, and he's not betting that much. And with this very nice wrap, 8-4, okay. I mean, he could have 9-8, but probably I'm getting more money out of when he is bluffing than. Okay. He could be bluffing, he could have a set, he could have 8-9, but too much, I have too much invested. So that I can fold, and yes, he is on the very aggressive side. So this is a hand I should probably fold. I'm playing it because I'm on the button and I have some wiggle room, but after I get a raise, it's very clear fold. This is an open raise. He plays too many hands, so probably not. I do not want to play a speculative hand out of position, which cannot really make a lot of nutty hands or nutty draws. Oh, someone writes me, what's your win rate on these stakes? Didn't know it exactly. And 10 cent, 20 cent. Only play when I'm streaming. And on 1-2 it will be something like 10 big blinds per 100, something like that. And this is possible because a lot of people splash around, play very bad pre-flop hands. So let's concentrate again. The stream. King, queen, 10, 10, 5, and 12 big blinds. If he only called, I could probably call this hand too, and there are not a lot of people who like to squeeze. but it's definitely a hand on the bottom of what you should play. And this is a hand where he could 3-bet, but he is only calling very few hands, and there he's only open raising very few hands from under the gun. So I'm often expecting him to Jack 10-8. And he goes over the top. It's not very nice. So he goes over the top. Is it a hand I should check 10? I do not have. Yeah, it's a hand I want to get it in with. This is a hand I want to analyze later on. It's I have to look. It's 56. Let's say 56. The reason I called here is I could be the only one who has a good draw. Ace King 3-3 deuce. Nah. The low connection, low pairs are pretty bad, and they become worse because people are too calling too much. All three had 10-8, so interesting one. I don't know. I don't know. €14 in there. I have two backdoor flush draws, and this is a reason I went all in here. And the second reason is they could have kings and nines and so on. I have 50% equity against them. So ace queen jack 9-6, and this is a perfectly fine hand to 3-bet. This is a perfectly fine hand to raise pot with. Do I want to? I want to bet less and fold to a raise. Okay. He will probably ace jack 10. I have ace jack, so it's a check and probably check call. I don't know. 24. Let's fold that. What did he have? He had ace 8. Okay, makes sense. Kings, bad kings, but let's open raise them. Again, Oh, he's probably on the more aggressive side. And it's a good multi-way hand, so I played. Totally missed the flop. This hand was at probably 59 minutes, something like that. Kings that are semi-connected. The dare kings I fold against the 3-bet. Perfectly fine to start bluffing with them here. It's more unlikely that he has a jack, so I can easily start continue bluff on later streets. Not a good multi-way hand. Okay, multi-way hand, but I don't have to play it. Ten nine eight 7-5. This is a fine hand, which I also play in the small blind, but it's not a 3-bet by any means. Dark blue is for me passive, mainly passive, probably a little bit fishy because you're way too passive, and he has typical passive stats. He calls often, he does not raise a lot, he almost never 3-bets, and these are flop, turn and river aggression, and he does not bet at all. So, nah, that's a too bad hand for the cutoff. Even if he's probably on the button he plays a lot of hands. Okay, he is probably too fishy, so I can mark him. This is a very good multi-way hand on the button. Too bad to go over the top. Probably not necessarily because he's opening way too wide, but there is not a huge reason to go over the top with a hand like that. If everybody checks to me, I think it's a call. I'm drawing not to nuts. It's likely he has a better hand. I do not have a lot of backup. The only draw I have to the nuts is when an offsuit 5 comes. So. I think it's okay to check 10-8. He should not go in here. Yeah, here's something. This is a hand that looks better than it is. It's pretty disconnected, often dominated, bad suits. I don't know anything about this guy, so when he bets 80% pot, I'm not sticking around. This is a hand I could fold and I could call. When there is another call, I'm inclined to call. Right. Probably a little bit more because they could make a mistake to go all in with second set or so, second top set. No reason to bet here. I hope the others also do not bet. Okay, time to give up. So, time to close this table. I do not want to play heads up. I could make a small value bet here. It's a hand I can easily continue playing on turn. It's a hand that should be played, but when people are playing too much, it's not that good of a multi-way hand because of the small pair. So probably I should just fold it, but Silver says it should be played. So there can be reason to play to fold hands that should be played by the solver. And here, what does he do? He should not be a fish, so I don't know what he's doing. The chance is not so small that someone has a 10 here. There were 20 cards around, 5 were in the middle, so it's probably 45% that someone has a 10, or probably 40% that someone has a 10. Clearly, if everybody's checking on the flop, it's probably 70% or 30% that someone has a 10, or probably 25%. But it's not a low chance. That's what I want to say. Still, when I had aces or probably kings, I would go for the value bet. Ace queen 7-4-3. It's not very connected. It's triple suited to the ace, so not a hand you want to play. So I have to look for a second table. So let's play some higher stakes. The higher stakes, I often play not full stack if other players are also not full stacked. Why do I do that? The main reason I do not play full stack is that the small stack, there are two reasons. Reason one, the small stack plays effectively only with his stack, so he does not have to think about how do I play against the big stack and how do I play against the small stack. And the second one is he realizes his equity way better. How is this the case? Let's say everybody, so two guys and yourself invest 10 big blinds pre-flop. Then you have a pot size bet left. You only need 33% equity to get it in. But the other guys all need about 40 or 42% equity to get it in and will fold much more hands and fold out way more equity. So I have future blockers. So I don't know the worst player. Let's see what his stats are. Yeah, it's a hand I thought about probably 3-betting, probably racing. And so, okay. This is a hand which is on the cusp of 3-betting or calling. And here probably I'm playing with a larger stack later on, but at the moment I do not see any reason to do so. I have a 10 and I have the nut flush draw. And I have ace 10, so I'm betting for sure. Even if the fact that I have the nut flush draw is a reason not to bet. King, queen, 10, 9, 7. I think it's looks better than it is, especially on this table. There I have good future blockers, so bet. Yeah, nice. I think it's not that bad if I get it in here with the nut flush draw, and probably when he has two pair I still have some outs, probably 40% against a hand like that. Therefore I got it in. It's often the best thing to just fold out the equity of your opponent. And when you bet, you always have to think about what happens if your opponent raises. And here it was clear, I can just call. King, queen, jack, jack. It's good enough to open raise. This guy is, even if I only have 12 hands, he's pretty likely a fish. I do not have the best multi-way hand. He does not have a lot behind, so I'm folding. And I was sandwiched between two players, so high pairs are not good to play when you're sandwiched, like here. So even if I have the overpair, I can't play it because my opponent has often aces, which he just get it in with. Decent connection, but bad position, and not perfect connection, with which you absolutely need. Queen, jack 10, 7-6. I could think about 3-betting that hand because it's small blind versus big blind, and I choose not to. Okay, king, king, 6, 5, 4. Here it's perfectly fine to call with 2 pair. Still 2 pair. And an open ender. Still perfectly fine to call with. And here just want to five, 6, so I have 10-7, probably I'm good with 10-7. No, I'm not. Is there a reason to bluff here? I could have a small straight or so, and therefore I could probably bluff. Yeah, I probably should have bluffed. I also do not have any clubs. Therefore there I made a mistake by not bluffing here. Okay. And when someone waits that long on a flop, a bad player, it's often because he has it. It could be a wrong read, but more often than not, it's the right read. And he's thinking about it again. Nice. This was a nice read, nice timing tell. I had against him. This hand is too bad to go for the 3-bet. Jack 5. Jack 5 is nice. Does he bet in position? Most often he does, but it's not the hand I want to check raise with. And when somebody goes over the top, it's also not a nice hand to do. So 5-8. A very bad card for me. So here I'm raising. And probably Jack 5 is still good. Probably I should turn it into a bluff now. Here I could also bluff with this hand. Here I bluffed because he often just calls with aces or kings. This is what bad players do. So this is probably not that clear that I should. That's probably the worst flop that can come. But I still have bottom with Jack 10 he would not do that. Pretty bad from him that he three bets that hand. Probably he thinks I'm a fish, and therefore he does that. Usually an open race, but I don't know him, and he is on a more aggressive side when three betting. So kings. The other is a bad jack, so I'm not inclined to just get it in. But I'm inclined to bet small to get call or fold from a hand like Queen Jack. I have it, so let's bet. Get a call or fold by a hand like a flush draw. Jack 10, 7-5-3. Aces again. We should hope that somebody goes over the top with pretty good aces. So Queen 10 4-3. I just fold because he is going over the top a lot. Here I'll just start with betting half pot. Probably he has something like kings, or he goes over the top or calls. And I'm getting in. What does he have? Nothing in particular. Nice. Queen 10-10. 7-5. I have 3-7. Or what did I have? Nothing. This is a hand I could have bet, for sure. And when there are two guys with small stacks, I can think about just leaving. There's a delay test. I did not pay attention. This is what I have to say. It's 10-9-7-6. This is a very nice hand. So this is a hand I am going over the top when he, okay, he's 1-3 betting. Okay. $10-9. So I have both have 10-9. It's okay. It's not a hand. It's probably not a hand he should 3-bet with. 10-9-8-6. And when you smash the board that well, you probably should not get it, just get it in. It's also a board that I hit better. So he is at the moment very aggressive, so I have a hand that is better to bluff with. Then yeah, he's just a fish who is at the moment. So I'm going for value with that hand and some protection. If he goes over the top, it's an easy fold. Can go for value again, and then I can check and think about calling or folding on river. He most often has something like a flush draw, which I want to fold out or want to get value from. That's why I bet 3/4 spot. He's a bad player, so I don't necessarily have to play very balanced. Probably with a bluff, with a better value hand, I would probably bet pot here. SR Gambling. He thinks I'm a fish, obviously. This is not a very playable hand because of the 4 and the deuce, mainly because of the deuce. And he is probably not the typical green person, he's the typical red person. He is, yeah, very aggressive pre-flop and very passive on rivers, which is nice. He's probably thinking of himself too much. And he's just a rag, probably a little bit aggressive rag. 3-bet with bad double suited unpaired hand heads up. And what that tells me is I can go over the top easily with non-aces hands. And the aggressiveness does not hold true for turn and river, but usually in big pots I check those numbers first. There are 2 views, or no, concurrent, whatever concurrent means. So this guy is mainly passive. 25 hands, but I think he deserved a dark blue color. I can still change it. These are really bad aces. Really bad. Trip aces are a hand that are mainly just folded. So against him I probably call them and fold them if he puts in $3. Against an open race, it's just a fold. Jack 10, 9, 8, 3. This is also a hand that is probably too optimistic to play. Here, that aces are only triple suited, but they have excellent buy cards, and therefore they are 3-bet. Probably it's okay. It's okay to 3-bet those. Didn't get anything out of it, but I'm pretty sure I had one of the best starting hands here. even 4 ways. Even though I was triple suited. He's a little bit on tilt, a little bit on I play everything and I play it aggressively. Therefore we have to be very cautious. Light blue is a little bit nitty, so probably not finding all the bluffs he should, but he's definitely a strong player. These are pretty good over stats I have here. So 27, 18 is really good for a full table, about 50% on the button, about 30% on the cutoff. So these are very bad aces, which are called, but are certainly not 3-bet. Probably Solar says I should just fold them. He is very aggressive with c-bets, but still I can't really continue with that hand. Don't have anything, but I have a pretty bad hand and he's pretty aggressive, so probably I should not go to the top. This hand he opens pretty much early position. I have ace king king, but it's too bad to play here. A small blind. On the button I would probably call this hand. This guy's here again. These 3 stats say that he's not necessarily a bad player. Therefore, I will demark him, and he is a crazy player. Let's see what he does. With an ace, I do not have anything with it. I should call more against him when he's on a tilt session. So I think it's very unlikely that he has 4 deuce. It's likely that he has a flush draw, so to 3/4 bet is, I think, very good idea. This one is an okay hand multi-way, therefore I just call it. It's too bad to go over the top. That's nothing I want. It's nothing I like to happen. And yeah. I probably should have gone all in. With kings, with a hand that's a little bit better, I would have done it. King, queen, 8, 7, 5. He's passive one. It's 8, 5. Probably he's folding. It's not a hand to check raise with. And it's also not a hand to give a free card. King, check, 10, 8, 5. This is a hand to call with. It's not a good multi-way hand, but those two guys are not very aggressive. It's usually a hand you should not play. They are not aggressive. It's not a good multi-way hand, and that's what happens most of the time. There are very loose and very aggressive players on this table. I like it. I want to bet 3.5. Okay, this is not what I like to see. This is what I absolutely like to see. And so what the fuck does he do? King, king, 7, 5, 4. Pretty nice slow connection to the kings. And he is a bad player. Ten, 9, 6, 5, 3. Just because yeah, there's the question if I should bet if he checks or not. He's probably betting too much. Is he betting too much out of position? But he's getting a lot of information. He's getting this one. I think this is a good multi-way hand. So we'll call it even if I'm in a small blind. These are very bad aces, or pretty bad aces, and I'm not. So I am going to bet this hand and broke it. Queen deuce. Queen 10 6 7. Good. I would never bet and goal in when I did not have the second nut flush draw here. But this way I get value from the nut flush draw. And I have some backdoor outs. I have the 7 as an out. There are not that many full house outs, so probably I have 40% against him. Probably a little bit less. But you can see this is one of the reasons you should probably not play this hand. But it looked too good. You just flop second top set too often. And why did I bet it myself? Usually when you have one type of getting one type of having nuts, you do not bet, but I have the second nut flush draw and the second set, and therefore when, for instance, a flush comes, I don't know if I'm good. He's 8 6 5. Should I bet here? Nah. He's probably calling. Oh. 3-4 and ace-5. I'm at least thinking about going over the top. But his hand was pretty strong. With ace-5, 3-4-6. Even if he has the flush draw, he's not way behind. Stats I have here are pretty nice. It's pretty much the average you should have. And here, it's okay. It evens out at 30% on flop, on turn, and on river. They're too aggressive, so and that's the third thing. When you're not that deep, you can be people should be less aggressive against you, and when they're very aggressive, like he's on the button, for instance, you can punish it by 3-betting a lot. Oh, that's a good multi-way hand, and he is very passive, so I'm often against aces. So I will probably, when I get the checks, he is he will probably go all in with the jacks, like we saw before. No matter. Okay. It's not a hand I want to bet. Is it? I could. He often has aces and nut flush draw or something like that. This is the first time I'm thinking about cold calling, but I do have two less nuttiness here. It's a good hand to start bluffing with. Should I go over the top? Nah. Wait, do I have something? Nah. Yeah, he would have gotten a bet from me if he didn't bet himself. But it's perfectly fine to bet on this flop. He has way more 10-8. Could do that with Jack-9, with a lot of blocker heavy stuff, with draws. He's playing pretty straightforward. That's what I have seen. So I'm folding here because they are going way too often over the top. Otherwise, this hand I call. With the deuce and the 3, it's probably still, and I would fold. I have said it several times, but I'm not playing full stacked because I see advantages not to play full stacked. And the main advantage is that I play with the small stack against everyone, and another guy has to play against the small stack and against the big stack. He can't make the optimal play against me. And often optimal plays differ whether you are against a small stack or a big stack. So let's see what is his fold to c-bet. He folds often on flop, never on turn. Okay. And I'm betting 2/3. Fortunately, there are some very good draws around there, and most likely a draw will hit. This is a very nice turn, and I'm betting full pot here. And the reason I have a strong hand, but it's hard to know what to do on the river when a straight-in card comes. There are a lot of straight-in cards that are just bad for me. Like this one, I would also have the straight, but probably someone has the high straight, and that was just a safe option. I didn't want to bet half pot with my hand here. Most of the time it's just better to bet full pot. So this guy has aces. I have a very bad hand against aces, and usually I call because I have the jacks and I have the ace high nut, the nut suit, but against aces this hand was really bad. And when he has these numbers, he will not 3-bet anything else than aces. So currently I have 2 viewers, which is very nice. And do they write something? Or look if they write me something. So if the viewers want to get in contact with me, they can do that. The hand I could probably go for. Nah. I need something more to go over the top with. I don't care. I go over the top, even if I have a really bad hand, but he's betting way too much here. He still thinks I have 8-6 probably. Yeah. I shouldn't have 3-bet here, but I thought he will c-bet too much, so I can go over the top more often than I should. And I have the 5 blockers, which are very nice when a straight-in card comes. Eight and 8-6-4. He's then probably going over the top. I don't like that. And it's not that good of a hand. But I have to. And with bottom 2, it's better to fold multi-way. Oh, nice. This is nice because he is way too aggressive, and I have a good hand when he has the aces type of hand. When he has the aces type of hand, I want to go over the top. I'm not betting pot here, because then probably he thinks I'm weaker than I'm actually are. And I have a pot-sized bet left on the turn. That's the second reason. Third reason is I can bluff with this sizing. So, yeah, with the perfect connection, I'm going to call this. Queens and 7s. He will raise way too often against me. And he will again raise way too often against me. Should I start betting here? I do not have a good hand to start betting here. Jack, then 8. Yeah, I can call, and when flush hits, I can bluff. Most of the time he has aces, kings, something like that, but I do not get it out. Sometimes, oh, here even has ace king, ace queen. So this is a very nice situation because he will often go for the open raise. And here he will go too often for the open raise. I can go over the top, which is perfectly fine with that hand. Nice. This is a good outcome. I do not necessarily like call. Six, 5, 5, 4, 3. When somebody goes over top, it's okay. I could fold, I can call. And he's only going to 4 big blinds. It's a hand I play on the button when it's not too expensive. So here I would start bluffing if I had some sort of draw. So let's see how many people are online. 10 views, nice. But 2 people are online at the moment. So this is a well enough hand to defend here. 6, 5, 3. It's just it's not the hand to go over the top with, especially if there's another guy in there. 5, 3 and a nut flush draw. 5, 8 is prevalent there, but is 5, 8 and a hand he has often? Could also have 8, 9, 10. I'm using more time to call here. And this is a good reason not to call now. Even a small bet he will go for the pot size bet. Now more draws came in, and 8, 9 is not that here he has 8, 9 often here. I'm folding a lot here, but he is probably not value betting. enough. I'm not bluffing enough, so. In one of their hands, I give up here. I have absolutely nothing. Here, probably a win. Queens. Oh, I have 7-4. And when there is a blank, he could have 7-9, he could have but it's 7-6, okay, it's something. He bets with something there. He's just value betting when he's unsure what he has. I'm a little bit tired now, but let's continue playing a little bit. On this table, when I have some luck, I can make something happen. On this table though, let's see what kind of player he is. Again, bad aces. Bad aces are not a 3-bet. And he's going off the over the top. Not very often, so he's going over the top very often. And because it's also not a good multi-way hand, could just fold it. Here. There is no reason to continue playing. It's just aces and 9 blocker. This is a nice multi-way hand. One big blind. I'm calling that. So I could go over the top, or I can call. Let's call. Five, 6 is also get something by. No, he has jacks. Jack 4. Okay, I should just continue betting here. Probably going over the top because 5-6 is prevalent in both of our hands, also very much in my hand. So I had this hand once and lost, I won a lot, so, but with a lot of luck, 7, I thought he's c-betting way too often here. So I just tried to get the pot. I risked. Let's see it. Had one blocker. Risks 18 to win 18, so it has to work 50% of the time that it is good for me. So 3/4 bet on turn to info is what I write here. Next time I have a hand like I had, I can just go all in. Because 5/6 is very likely. It's very likely he just goes all in because he's fed up. Ooh, nice hand. One of the best hand that is not aces, or even the best hand. It's Jack 10 8/7 is Solo's favorite. So if I wanted to say not the type of hand I want to bet with. Now we can bet with it. I bet half pot because that's the type of bet that would probably make with king 6 or with a queen here. I'm the one with the nut flush draw blocker, so I'm betting. He's not c-betting and he's also not folding, but with the nut flush draw blocker, I'm betting for sure. King, 10, 6, 7, 6. This is not a table I should continue on. He is 3-betting a lot, and I'm 4-betting even more. That's something that happens. So unfortunately, it's he 3-bet way too much earlier against me. 3-bet with bad double suited unpaired hand heads up, and that's why I went for the 4-bet. But having these nice kings, I could not fold anymore. And why didn't I just get it in? There are, he has aces 100% of the time, and there are just flops where I have less than 10% against aces with this hand. But here I could just what happened here? I just want to see what's going on here. Aces and eights, okay. King, king, 10, 10, 5. This is not a hand to 3-bet usually. Or it's too less connected, and it's really bad against. I could lose everything when he has aces here. I hate it. It's not a hand to get everything in. And now it's an easy fold for me. Probably it's a check on the river, or probably a check fold if he decides to bet. I could decide to, yeah, nice. And why do I say nice? Because I didn't lose my stack here. And here I'm leaving the table. In this position it would be okay to play, but and here it's again, it's okay to bet fold this hand. I have tens blockers, so I have future straight blockers. I have a queen blocker, which is good that he continues less. I'm not so ace queen queen 4-4, nice. The problem here is that I play against the loser guy. There's a table I can play. And I have told it several times, it is good to play a small stack when there are other people on the on the table who also have a small stack. What is 6 divided by 7.5? Then I have a good read about him. So calc 6 divided by 7.5 is 80% bot. 80% bot is a usual bet size, but sometimes people make it a little bit higher with the good hand, and then I could have a read when he has a really good hand and when he just wants to steal the pot or has a semi-good hand like 2 pair. He's 3-betting more now. Let's see. Betting low amount. Don't know what it exactly means. It could be I fold against the raise, but it could also be I'm very strong. So I'm on a new table, and this worst player, I liked that I play against him. I'll probably win with 4. Otherwise I would have bluffed. No. Again have a good multi-way hand, so when there is one call, I'm calling 2. He's not going over the top often. 60 hands, so it could be a normal value too. I have 5. This is nice. Not optimal, but nice. So here is the question, what should I do? Should I go over the top? Should I call? And I think the answer is call, because I'm He often has a 5, he often has 5-7, 5-9. Probably I win it. Would be nice when I win it. Nice. He had a 5. But hard to play. Hand I would probably go over the top is when I have ace, king, queen, jack, 5. So I have a lot of outs against some other 5, but I didn't think I have a good 5. I just had a showdown value 5. The thing I thought about was protection against a draw, but more often than not, people just play the hand strength and not their draw. So here I have to see how often they're going over the top. Not that often. So I'm calling here, and hopefully I'm getting yeah, now it's a fold. It's not a good hand with 1 SPR. I think this bet size is not particularly good. I think he should either go for the pot size bet or go for a smaller bet. I like his play here, and his play is also fine. King, king, queen, 4-8. It would be an open race. So I'm probably going for the multi-way pot, and when somebody puts in more, it's okay for me. But limping behind is totally fine. It's not a matter of you have to be the open racer or you are the fish on the table. Okay. I only have the second nut flush draw, and this is too bad to continue. If he puts in 10, then he probably has 5-6. And now he probably puts in 10 again. No, he's checking, but he has 5-6. 4-5-6, yeah. 4-4-5-6-6. It seems nice, this hand, but it has a lot of reverse implied odds. He's king, jack, jack, 8 against 2 people. It's one of the worst hands to bet here. those two are passive people. One of them will have a queen and will call then. Probably one of them has a 4. Nah, but it's not a hand I want to bluff with. Nice. Probably I win it with ace king. No. On such flops, you should not bet a lot. They are checking always to you. Would probably bet the nuts. And probably something like 10s or 8s. Or something like a combo, like set and flush draw, set and open-ender. These are the hands I would bet. Set and open-ender probably not. I don't know. What did Munlindio have? Just a seem good flush draw. Not flush draw. Very, very bad played by him. Why should he go for the value bet here? Nothing better folds and everything worse folds. So it's a very bad turn bet by him. So let's see. Who won at the European Championship for football? Oh, nice to know. I won't spoil it though. Oh, timed out at this very nice hand. Would have bet 3/4 spot with my hand. Oh, this guy is pretty aggressive. Ace queen 10 4 5 5 4. So good heads up hand, not that good of a multi-way hand. Typical hand to call. even if often. Here's a 3 very, very often, but here's a... So, here I'm just going for the pot size bet. And I'm going for a fold. I'm going for the half pot bet here. He will call it with a lot of hands. With ace queen, for example, or ace 4, whatever. And I would have gotten the nuts on the river, but I think it's a very fine fold here. King check 8-7-6. It's not the best hand, but can probably is folding some. No reason to play it against him. I only played 2 hands on the button. It's not a lot, but probably pre-hand that on the button, and yeah, can do a lot about it. Fold to 3 bet is pretty high. Usually it's about 20%. This guy is probably pretty reggy. This guy is reggy. Interesting that he has a small, but he is tight reggy. So at least for 166 hand, he was not very aggressive. Here we have seen a huge mistake by him. He bet so much that he can't fold against a raise. See it here. When he bets pot hit there, can't fold against raise. Yeah, probably it's okay because he has the equity. But that's something you always want to keep in mind when you bet. What do you do against the raise? And you should have an easy decision. Otherwise, you should probably not bet at all. One of the most important things to know for PLO5 or for PLO in general. Also in poker for general, it's the same thing for Hold'em too. If you probably bet top pair, bet kicker, it's probably not that good of an idea if your opponent goes over the top often. So you're in a pretty bad spot. ace check 10-9. I think I can put in more there and put in more there. Check 10-9-3, 9-3. It's a nice. So somebody is calling me. This is a hand that looks way better than it is. It has almost no connection, even if you have the ace high suit and the king high suit. Low connection is not worth a lot, and 9 is pretty bad card to have in addition. Jack 10-7-7, nice hand. There are two people. He's calling out of turn. He's calling always. This is an ace. This is an ace and nothing else. I think he is loose in the small blind, which should not be. I should probably be a little bit tighter, but I'm still one of the tightest on this table. Only the Sloko Alcinic is looser. So a little bit too bad to. I could call because they are not going over double often. Ace King Jack 10. I do not have 4 players. Awful. Ace Queen 10 6-5, usually a very good hand, but when the ace is not suited and people are too loose, you shouldn't play it. No, I don't have to go over the top here. Ace 5-3, okay. He's betting a lot here. Now I have straight, which I probably can value bet on the river. Okay, what do I have now? Yeah, he's betting way too much. Nice. Pretty easy call. He's probably value betting with higher bet sizes. Likes limp racing, this is good to know. He's this type of guy, so I should limp behind way more. This is one thing I should think about. Then he likes limp racing is one thing, and the second thing is half pot bet on riv as bluff. Hopefully if he goes over the top. I don't. He's not an aggressive person, which is not something I like. But it doesn't seem like it's. Oh no, I know I do not have the nuts now, but I have a second nuts, which is also nice. 4-6. in a hand I open on the button, but it's not a particularly good hand, so I fold against the raise. Queen check 9, 9, 8. It's a good hand to defend. And a good hand to start betting with. So there are a lot of future blockers in my hand. I could have 5-6. I could have a lot of different hands I start betting with here. Minus one of them, and turn would be very, very nice. I would very likely betting pot here. I'm thinking about going over the top or calling. I'm going to call this hand. An 8. It's not good enough to go over the top. Need better connection or suited pureness. So should I bet here? No, and he can have it. Now I have 8-4. 6-7 also gets in. A3 gets in, so it's not that nice. He's not bluffing often, so I don't think. Probably he's bluffing aces now. So not a lot is happening now. Probably the next time I'm playing one more table, because sometimes there is nothing that happens at the moment. I think my wife is calling, but I don't care. She's probably watching me. Awful, awful. Nah, can't get it in. This is, I think, okay to go over the top with. Just because he is stealing a lot from a small blind. And this was something. So probably I should end my stream now. Was not that successful, but at least 2 people are watching me. It would be nice to see who is watching me, so you could also write me, but I will end the stream. Pretty soon, probably I'm do some hand analysis. So, how many hands are there left? 3 on this table. This was the last one on this table. And I will make some hand analysis now. Probably still waiting for the last hand to be over. And the first hand you can see here, I played half a month ago. On this side I played about 4,500 hands, and last hand is some hand I could play, but I'm letting it go. It's an okay hand, but triple suited, it's not that good. The connection is not that good. The people are too aggressive on the button on small blind, and therefore I'll let it be. Let's stop it. We have a session of minus 70 big blinds per 100. UE was slightly positive, but one hand I had, it was pretty where the kings, where I went all in on the flop, where I had 80% equity or so. So the thing I do often here is I want to analyze the biggest hand I won and lost. The kings I had 76% equity, and pre-flop I had 45%. So I did not lose a lot by 4-betting those kings. And the reason I did it was that I had a note that he is in position. He's 3-betting very wide, and I had just very, very good kings. They are very well connected. I would say it's even better connected than king, king, queen, jack, 8, for example. King, king, 10, 7, 6. There are more gaps in there, but it's really nice to go all in then with such a hand, because it connects with so many boards. And my opponent thinks that I have aces, so probably he's just folding a hand holding an ace. So I think there was not so much to analyze here. The thing is, should I go all in immediately with 12% pot left? And I would say no, because there are I pretty much know that he has aces, and there are flops I still can't fold, and he does not know my exact hand, so he can't fold against me on any flop. So next hand is this hand here. It's only single suited, but he opens way too wide on a cutoff, so I think I can get away with 3-betting this hand. It's perfectly fine hand, multi-way when I flop, when it's 1 SPR. And this guy just thought, yeah, going all in with a questionable hand is a good idea. And we would have made $8 profit in average in this hand. So next hand, you see I have really much equity here, but here I did not like to go over the top, just because it's very likely that he has 7s or 7-5, or just a 5 like he has, but then he probably does not bet the turn again. And here I was already on check fold mode, but he was nice enough not to bluff his hand. He had a pretty nice bluff, I would say. Here, this one, is it an open race?